And welcome. So I've been knitting for over 20 years and crocheting for around 14 now. And it looks like this is becoming a little bit of a series where I gather the things that I've learned over the years or ideas that I've had that might help make things a bit easier for other people doing knitting and crocheting and sewing and whatever else it might be that I've remembered. If you're alternating colours in a row when you're knitting colour work, you can cheat by doing one colour at a time. So I worked this one out recently when I was making this jumper. It wasn't originally going to be a jumper. It was more, I was trying to practice something and I decided to make it into a jumper to finish it off rather than unraveling the whole thing. But anyway, there were a few rows where I needed to do one of each colour and it can get a bit laborious changing colour every stitch. It's not so bad when you do like a block of colour and then a block of another. And I thought, well, I wonder, can I just do all of one colour one round and then all of one colour the next? So I tried it and it worked fantastically. So any any stitch that was meant to be yellow, I knitted in yellow, and any stitch that was meant to be blue, I just slipped over. And then on the next round, I slipped all the yellow ones and knitted all the blue ones on the blue. And it worked fantastically. You can't tell that it's been done any different. I'll put a clip in here showing the two lines where one is alternating one of each other and the other is the one where I've done one colour each round. And it worked fantastically. I think if you were doing a whole garment this way, it might take longer than just alternating stitches. But for the odd row, for me, it made a lot more sense to do it that way because it was a lot quicker than doing them alternatively. Again, with the colour work, when you're doing colour work and you have long floats, you can just weave them in. With, again, this blue and yellow jumper thing that I made, um, I found that I had quite long floats on some sections. I tried to have as short a float as I could on things, but it still didn't quite work out. And because obviously this is a jumper and it's something that's going to be worn, I didn't want to be cutting ends and tying them together just to leave them a bit neater. And I realized I could just basically weave them. So I took some of the blue yarn and I literally alternated weave in and out. Again, I'll put some footage in here. I think I recorded some. I hope I did. It just kind of holds it down because it's attaching it to other ones and means that if it is being worn and taken off and on, it's not going to catch as easily on jewelry or whatever it might be as you're taking it off and on. This wasn't something that I'd seen anywhere else. I just thought that it would be a good idea. I'm not sure what prompted it. It was just I was looking at it and thought, oh, yes, I could do that, of course. The only downside is obviously it does take quite a long time to do it, and it adds to the finishing time of a garment if you are doing it that way. But for this, it's a fairly small jumper, so it made sense for me to do it that way. And I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. When you have to put a crochet whip down or in a bag, you can stop it from unraveling. So there are actually a couple of ways that I do this. One is that I just literally pull up the last stitch and make it really long, and then I'll wrap it round the item or around the yarn or what have you. The second option is getting a stitch marker, putting it through that loop, and it won't unravel if you pull it. Obviously, if you pulled it really hard, it probably would completely fall apart at some point. But it gives, you can give it quite a good tug, and it's not going to come loose. And hopefully, that will save some newer crocheters a lot of heartache from you put something in a bag, you pull it out, you don't realize it's just unraveling the whole thing that you've already done. Cross stitch chart programs are absolutely fantastic for more than just cross stitch. So this is what I use. It's called Floss Cross. The website is flosscross.com. I'll just go back to the main page. That's the main page. Click on create a pattern and you've got 3 slots that you can make patterns in. It's absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love using this. I've made more than just this one thing, but this is the most recent thing that I've made using Floss Cross. This is I did knitting colour work, and I'm just going to switch to this view so I don't accidentally draw on it. And it's fantastic because it's got the alignment at the side here. You can change the size of the canvas in here.
So you can make it any size that you want. If you already started drawing something, you can also kind of add a little bit to it here and there if you realise you need a bit more, and it won't get rid of your work. You can also export it to various different things. Like if you export it to a PDF, I've done that here, and you've got the picture, it says the crosses and everything. You've then got the chart. It does chop off obviously if you've got a slightly wider one, but it's absolutely fantastic. It even lists if you've used the proper DMC colours, it lists them here, so if you need to buy more or whatnot, it puts it in there for you.
It's free to use. It works really well. Everything's saved locally though, so if you do want to move between machines with it, you will have to kind of export it and save it in a different way. I don't know if you can save it in such a way that you can access it on a different browser, but it's saved, it's for you, it's private, no one else can access your patterns unless you send them to them. And I am really impressed with how good it is. And like I said, it's not just for using for cross stitch. You can use it for anything that involves having a pattern that needs squares. Basically, there's like mosaic crochet, tapestry crochet, colorwork knitting, which is what I usually use it for, cross stitch, which I also use it for. But you could also use it for like C2C blankets, like if you want to do a big blanket with a picture on it, or even if you're being ambitious with granny squares and you want to make an image with granny squares. I might not do something as big as that pattern that I had there in granny squares, but you could probably do it in a C2C because that would be, that pattern's 80 by 80. So yeah. Also, if anyone wants a copy of that pattern that I made, just give me a shout and I'll send you the PDF. Like, I'm happy to share that with anyone. Um, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. So thank you for watching. If you have any hacks that you use, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to find me elsewhere, the link to my link tree is in the doobly-doo. Bye for now.